The reasons why resolutions often don't work is because they're usually very large abstract goals made in response to everybody else making them, and also because they often come from a place of things we should feel we should be doing rather than things we want to genuinely do. Hey folks, it's Finn. Welcome back, lovely people, and a very, very happy New Year. How is it 2021 already? As it's a new year, it's that time where lots of us start making these huge New Year's resolutions. But what tends to happen is within a couple of months, these resolutions are broken, forgotten, and we often end up finding ourselves every new year recycling the same old resolutions that we just don't seem to be able to achieve. So perhaps we need to do something differently. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why I always say that it's reflection, not resolution, that is the most important. I'm going to talk about why resolutions don't work and why reflection is actually a much better way to start the year and ultimately to help you to achieve the goals that you want in 2021 without breaking them. But before we get stuck in, for anybody who is new, a very, very big welcome. My name is Finn, and here on my channel and on my accompanying website, I create content on topics of gender transition, mental health, and LGBT life. Lots of really inspirational first-hand accounts and practical advice. So if you enjoy my content, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel because it really does help. And it's easy to do. You can just click the subscribe button below this video. So why do so many of us start the year with such good intentions? We make these huge resolutions and they don't work. Why? The reasons why resolutions often don't work is because they're usually very large abstract goals made in response to everybody else making them, and also because they often come from a place of things we should feel we should be doing rather than things we want to genuinely do. Whereas reflection, on the other hand, really helps us to get in touch with who we are, where we are, and what we want. And what this ultimately does is put us in touch with our whys, the why behind everything. And it is these whys that we want something that actually then drive us to make change. And how do I find my why? The way we get in touch with our whys, those real catalysts for driving change, is through using reflection. I use two main reflection tools to start my year, and actually I use these at various points throughout the year. The Year Compass and the Wheel of Life. The Year Compass is an incredible reflective tool, and it's available as a free download, and I'll put a link in the description. And it's a huge booklet of lots of detailed questions which help you to look back at the year previous. So things like what you achieved, what your memorable moments were, who were the most important people in your life, what challenges did you face, and how did you meet them? And it really dives deep into all of this before then looking at the year ahead and what you would like to achieve and experience going forward in the next year. This year's also has a pandemic supplement, which is really helpful because it takes into account the fact that last year was an unusual year and going forward it's a bit of an unusual year. So it helps us to really take stock of that as well. The Wheel of Life looks like a much more simple tool, but it is just as effective. What it does is it helps us to look at key areas of our life and then gauge our satisfaction in those levels, starting from the middle to low satisfaction, towards the outside, higher satisfaction. And with this, we can look at all the different areas of our life, look at things that might be out of balance, look at ways that we've moved forward in certain areas of our lives, really kind of reflect on where we are. And from that, we can then look at goals to move us forward to gain satisfaction in different areas of our life. I'm actually in the middle of organising some workshops to walk people through completing a Wheel of Life, looking at life balance and planning for the year ahead. So if you're interested in taking part in one of my workshops, please do have a look in the comment section below. In the description, you'll find a link to my newsletter, my mailing list. And if you sign up for that, then I'll be able to send you details when the workshops are up and running. What both of these tools have in common is that they require a lot of deep reflection first before we even move on to goal setting. This reflection then really helps us to take stock of where we've been, where we've travelled to, where we are, and helps us to really get in touch with those aspects of ourselves that we really want to change, what we really want and why we want it. And then when we have that why, we can then set much more tangible, achievable goals, because these abstract goals, for example, I want to lose weight. That's a huge goal that's in the future and there's no plan to get there. With reflection, we can kind of drill down into the why we want to lose weight. Perhaps it's to feel healthier. Perhaps it's to look better in your clothing. Perhaps it's to feel better about yourself. Those are your whys. And it's from those whys that you can break down that goal into real tangible short-term goals that keep you working towards that ultimate goal of losing weight. Because you can add things like, okay, I want to lose weight because I want to feel healthier. Okay, what can I do this week to feel healthier? I can add 2 cardio sessions of half an hour into a week. And these goals are things that we can achieve. They're tangible, they're immediate, they're in touch with emotion, with why we want these things, and that's what helps us to drive change. So find your why, and then the rest will follow. Another reason that reflection is far more powerful and beneficial than resolution is because it really helps us to get ourselves and our lives in perspective, which right now is so incredibly important, because there is no denying that 2020 was a tough year with the pandemic, and that going into 2021, a lot is uncertain. We don't know how quick the vaccine's going to make a difference and bring us back to daily lives. And it can be really easy, because of all these genuine difficult things that are going on, to just feel very bad about everything. But actually, by reflecting, we can see that there have been lots of positives in amongst all of the pandemic difficult times that it's given us. So by doing reflection, we can actually take stock of all the different things we have achieved despite what's been going on, and feel good about ourselves. And these can be even the small list of things, because there are really no small things. It can be simple things like how I coped, the friendships I made online during the time, all of these things that we might not think about unless we really take time to sit and reflect. And then when we do that, it really helps us to then step into this new year in 2021 with much more gratitude and optimism for the year ahead. Another reason I really prefer reflection over resolution is that reflection is actually far more gentle. Reflection should never be used as a way to tell yourself off about the things you have done. Reflection should be taking stock of what you've achieved, the difficulties you faced, and how you met them, and you achieved regardless of them. And what reflection also does is help us to be realistic about what's happening. And again, this is important right now because we are in the middle of a pandemic, and there might be lots of us who are thinking, well, I really wanted to achieve this year and I didn't. And by reflecting, we can be more kind to ourselves, because we can say, we're in the middle of a pandemic. And it's no wonder I didn't manage to achieve all I managed to achieve. But you know what? I did really well. I rose to the occasion, I looked after myself, I looked after my family, and I made it through the year. And then this way, looking forward, we can say, yes, there are all these things I want to do, but there is still a pandemic, and so I'm going to be gentle in the year ahead. I'm going to do what I can. If there are things that I can't manage because of the external situation, I'm going to be gentle with myself about that. So in this way, reflection is far, far kinder than resolution, because with resolution, we're saying we must achieve this, and actually we might not be able to because of what's going on. So with reflection, we can be more gentle with ourselves, more forgiving of ourselves, and put less pressure on ourselves going forward. Self-kindness right now is incredibly important. I would really like to invite you and encourage you over the next week to take some time for reflection, whether it's just a few moments looking back at your year, looking at the things you've achieved and you feel good about, or using one of these tools I've suggested, the Year Compass and the Wheel of Life, and look at the difference it makes in how you feel about the year ahead and in the goals you're able to set from actually reflecting on what it is you really want. I really hope that was helpful. If it was, please do let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you feel like sharing, I would love to hear one thing that you are proud of or you achieved in 2020, and let me know what that is in the comment section below. No matter how small you think it might be, it is significant and I'd like to hear it. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching another video. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to support my work, I do have a couple of options. I have my YouTube membership club and I also have my Ko-fi membership and donation club, both of which come with lots of additional perks, and I'll put the link to both of those in the section below. Take care of yourselves. See you next week.